Okay, alright, so yes, hackers stole 0.4 Bitcoin and 13,910 pirate coin from me. 27th of July, 4:45 PM UK time, exactly 0.4 Bitcoin was taken from my wallet, my Ledger Live wallet, gone. And at the same time, somehow, from a hardware wallet, 13,910 pirate coin was gone at the exact same time. How exactly this happened, I don't know. Looking into it, investigating here and there, looking at chain analysis and beyond, getting customer support from Ledger Live. But this little disaster, well, there's a lot to be learned from it, not just about me and introspectively thinking, but adding value and sharing my experience with you to help you learn more about psychology, crypto, markets, finance and beyond. Because there's more to just unpack, mentally unpack, and this is a good way of therapy as well in a way, to talk about what happened, but mainly to share my experience so you can learn from it as well, to avoid the mistake, adding value into your life. So money is a tool. It's a tool. It has no opinion of you or me. It's an inanimate object. Paper, plastic, metal. It doesn't care who you are. Doesn't care who it serves. It's a tool. It has no opinions of you. So if you give emotions to it, if you mingle emotions, subjective emotions with objective decision making, is a recipe for disaster. Because money doesn't care. The only emotion you bring, the only emotion that is in the equation, in the decision, in the trade, is you. Is what you have, your baggage, your luggage. What do you bring to the table? Because money doesn't care. It's a digit on a screen. It goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways. That's it. It's a tool. If you want to build, create, achieve things, it's a tool to do so. It's a fuel. You want to go places. You want to do things. You want to survive. It's a fuel. It's a tool. And these things don't care about you. It's a commodity, really. These things don't care about you. So don't love things, love something that can't love you back. But instead, respect it. Because it's a tool. You use it to your advantage. Just like this pen. Just like this whiteboard. Just like this camera. Respect it, but don't love it. Because when you love it, you're more likely to get heartbroken, destroyed, ravaged. Don't love the money, because it can't love you back. That's fundamental. Don't mix subjective emotions with objective decision making. Buy this, buy that, sell that, do this, go there. It's objective. Don't mingle emotions with money, because it's a tool. Don't get carried away. Don't love something that can't love you back. Not that it won't, but it can't. It's unable to do so. It can't. So that's the first thing. But then straight away, as I found out the coins were missing and the money was gone, there was no point in pointing fingers or begging for a government, begging for someone to wave a magic wand and do something for me magically by virtue of being alive. It goes against, it is not in the spirit of Bitcoin, of crypto. It goes against the spirit of it. The only one to blame for successes and defeats in life, the only one to blame is myself, is yourself. There's no point in pointing fingers to say, if only they had done this, if only he had done that, if only they had said this, if only he, if only they, them. Blaming somebody else. But apart from the one person that matters, myself. And I didn't blame anyone else. Straight away I thought, damn, what could I have done? How could I have improved? What did I overlook? Where could I have gone, done something differently? What if this? What if that? Maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done that. To blame somebody else and to beg somebody else goes against the spirit, the whole ethos of the crypto movement. Against the whole thing. Your own sovereignty and responsibility. You can't have your cake and eat it in a sense of, I have sovereignty, I have responsibility, but something goes wrong. Oh, help me, please. We need rules, regulations. Please, bail me out. There was a certain billionaire that went into DeFi. It went wrong. He loved the idea. It went wrong. Did his research. It went wrong. And he begs for regulation. And straight away I thought, I cannot have the same thought process, because it goes against the whole ethos. I can't be saying I have sovereignty, sovereign wealth, sovereign cash, sovereign separation of state and money, but then as soon as it goes wrong and against me, because I made a mistake, again, no point in pointing fingers, I made a mistake, I can't say, oh, help me, government, help me. No. It's all down to me. So that's why I'm here adding value, so you learn the lesson, you learn from my mistakes. You can only blame yourself for the good and the bad. When things go amazingly well, really, you think, ah, of course I did. Of course it makes sense, which is a fallacy. Of course, for me, of course. But when it goes wrong, you can only blame yourself. And that's how you grow as a person. Fundamental. But then there's also the economic side to this as well. The seen and the unseen. The opportunity cost of lost capital. So today, and this is look at it mathematically, today it's 0.4 and 13,910 pirate, which is worth roughly 50,000 US dollars. So you see why I want to share this experience with you, because it's a learning opportunity. So today it's worth 50,000, 29th of July 2021, 50,000. But 6 months from now, 12 months, 18 months from now, what's the price? Who knows? Well, there'll be no price predictions here, but who knows what the price will be? Who knows where? Who knows? But that's the unseen part. That's what's lost now, and in dollar terms, say 50,000. But 6 months from now, oh, the missed chance, oh, the capital appreciation, the capital gains, oh, the opportunity, the chance for the money to increase, the value to increase, is lost. So there's the seen, which is what's lost immediately, here and now, and the unseen, what would not be built, what would not be created, what would not be achieved because of not having the cash 6, 12, 18 months from now. So that's why it's the short term, yeah, disaster, but it's as time goes on and as the price increases, it's an exponentially worse disaster. So think of it that way as well. Understand the maths, understand the numbers, what you're dealing with in the long term, because the long term game is the only game worth playing. Because it's a tool. You want to build, create and achieve things. Think long term. You want to achieve this and reverse engineer. Think, I need this, I need that, I need to do this, plan this, create that, do this, achieve this, blah, blah, blah. And take it from there. Long term is the only game worth playing. And that's why we're in this as well. Time preference. And if you can make it once, you can make it again. So if, first of all, if is the scariest word in the English language. If. It throws doubt onto everything. If. I'm going to do this. If. I want to achieve this. If. I want to do this thing. If. If you have time. If you know what you're doing. If you can do it. If this. If. So, if you can make it once, and mathematically we know that, because the precedent has been set. It's been done once physically already. Then you can make it again. Okay. First of all, nice mindset to have, of course. But here's where the rubber meets the road. Time to test that principle myself. This goes back to sovereignty, and only one to blame is yourself for responsibility. If I can do it once, then I can do it again. Okay, Adrian. Prove it. Prove it to yourself. Prove it to the audience. Prove it to everyone else. Doing it once, you can do it again. What's stopping you? Well, okay. And that's why it's a tool. That's the goal I want to create. So if I do this, do that, create this, manage that, do this, then I can achieve it and, compensate. But okay. And then, because it's the seen and the unseen, the longer the time goes by, the harder I have to work just to get back to this level. So there's more factors to consider than just 0.4, 13,000. Because as time goes by, the dollar value goes up. And to do it again by myself gets harder and harder. Okay. So everything is a blip, a learning opportunity. I came back from Mexico a few months ago, and I realized that everything is an opportunity. Everything is a learning opportunity. Everything you do, see, witness, create. Every mistake, every close call is a lesson to be learned. Something you can learn and draw from life experience, by sheer brute force life experience, to improve and be a better person every day. Just get better 1% every day. Every day, like water chipping away at rock. Every day, just 1% better. A little better, a little better, a little better, a little better. So this is why I'm doing this video. For you to learn something and get value from me, to improve in your own way, to glean one thing from my experience and improve again in your own way. So everything is a blip. It can be overcome. Anything else is a disaster, but everything is a blip. You can overcome this, you can overcome that. Yeah, we can find a way around it. We'll find a solution. We know how to deal with this. We can figure out an idea. A learning opportunity. Because if you're not learning, if you're not growing, and then in a metaphysical sense, you're stagnating, you're dying. Because if you're not learning and growing, what your knowledge over time becomes obsolete. What you know, your frame of reference, the things you learned over the past 5, 10 or so years, if you're not learning, you get left behind. As the world moves on, you metaphorically or metaphysically die, because your knowledge is worth less and less over time. So if you're not keeping up with technology, at least, even psychology, learning and be introspective. Why did I say that? What was that all about? What did I mean by that? What did he... okay, that is interesting. If you're not learning, you're dying. So everything's a learning opportunity. This video here, me recording this video, the experience, you watching this video, you learning from this, you understanding this point or that point and breaking down and analysing it further and further into the meaning. Everything is a learning opportunity. It's just what can you glean? And learn, improve every single day. Then over the course of a year, on a rolling 12-month basis, you're a complete different, stronger, wiser person. And then it becomes even easier to do it again. And then it becomes even easier to claim your own sovereignty and take personal responsibility, because you're a stronger person, your comfort zone is expanded. Powerful. That's how people grow. That's how people in 10 years can achieve more than some people do in a lifetime. So you need to be positive. So straight away I realised, straight away as soon as this happened, I thought I have to be positive. I can't let this drag me down. I can't let this drag me down and suffer emotionally. Because if you're suffering emotionally, it gets worse and worse. I had to think optimistic. I had to think, what can I learn from this? What can I learn? What opportunity can arise from this? Because if this is gone, then there's fewer distractions in life. Rather than focusing on what's the price, I can now think of my own business. My own educational business, teaching English. My own business instead is an excuse, it's a chance to focus more focus like a laser on my business, as opposed to being distracted by this or that and that and this. You need to think positive in a sense of you can only have one thought in your mind at a time. One thought. So it might as well be something positive, something uplifting, something empowering. Something that helps you achieve that goal. Something that helps you be or do what you want to be or have or achieve. And this is why I'm doing the video, to add value, so you can learn something from it. So I'm taking action by recording this video, for example, to avoid regret. Because I was thinking, in the sleepless night, what could I do? I can do this, move this, add that, change this, technical thing, password here, blah blah blah, do this, reset that. Fine, technical things. Okay, fine, that's on the surface. But look at it, the whole thing, the catastrophe, at a deeper fundamental level. And there's something fundamental to be learned from this. And ultimately, it's no regret. Some people would panic and cry. Some people would take action and do something, act and fight. That's the key word, fight. And I don't want to look back at this in 6, 12, 18 months. With the seen and the unseen, so this 50,000 turns into who knows what, and think, damn, I did nothing. I haven't cried. There were a few moments that felt overpowering, it's like deep emotion. It's like, damn, that's a lot. Some people struggle to make that in a year. And if you gave 10% of that to someone in their bank account, they would be over the moon. They would probably kill to have just 10% of that in their bank, given the past 12, 18 months. They would kill for that. And here it is. Here's 50 grand like that. Oh, taking it away. So avoiding regret. Because when you look back at this, at any moment in life really, when I look back at this, I think I was silly to have done nothing. I was silly to not taken the opportunity, a chance to learn something, a chance to do something, and build and create something that could act as a springboard. Some people talk about things happen for a reason. I don't necessarily believe that. I think we infer meaning on things, consequences or things that happen to happen around us or affect us. I think we infer meaning, but I'm open for other ideas. So this whole scenario, everything, they're losing this cash, could open the door for amazing things. Even me, by simply making this video, by adding value to you watching my video, could open the doors to who knows what in the future. Who knows? Who knows? But point is regret. We can't be sat in the corner crying and whimpering and, oh, government save me, help me, help me, help me, rather than standing tall and be able to say 6, 12, 18 months from now with pride to say, even though that was a disaster, I did something, I turned it around, and I'm proud because I did something. I created, built, or achieved something. That's fundamental. Yeah, so, no regrets. So money's a tool. Don't love something that can't love you back, respect it. No point in pointing fingers, apart from yourself, whether they're good or bad. Not in the spirit of Bitcoin to beg for regulation, beg for rules, beg for help. And it's like, no. Ultimately, it's my fault. The seeds of this disaster were sown months, maybe even years in advance, as deep, as far back as the psychological fallacies or mistakes or shortcomings. The seen and the unseen, 50,000 today, who knows what, 6, 12, 18 months from now. If you can make it once, you can do it again. And this is a chance for me to do it again. It's a test. And remember that. Because you might say that yourself. If someone can do it once, they can do it again. It might be your turn one day to actually do it again. Everything is a blip. Everything can be overcome. Anything else is a disaster. No worries. Everything's a blip. We can overcome this. Fortunately, my livelihood has not been impacted. Luckily, I can still eat. And that's down to responsibility, thinking ahead, planning, strategizing. Well, backups, reinforcements here, this, just in case that, just in case this. Sorted. Again, sovereignty. We're not sovereign individuals if we can't take responsibility for our own actions. Everything's a blip, we need to be positive. We only have one thought in our mind at a time, might as well be positive. And I'm taking action to avoid regret. And by doing so, I'm giving you value, sharing with you human psychology, finance, and deeper insights into what happened. Yeah, anyone can do, two-factor authentication or password here, password there, yeah, but there's more to unwrap, more to consider and think. More layers to this than just losing money. Oh, hackers, what can we do to avoid that? There's more value that I can give, more value I can share with you, more value you can glean. And in the spirit of crypto, in the spirit of free markets, if you got any value from this, consider donating. If you got this bit of value, even from a lesson here, obscure point there, a little bit of value, then please consider donating a little bit of crypto, a little bit of something to help me out. If you got this much value, or this much value, or this much value, or this much value, then consider donating just as much. Links in descriptions. Yeah. How cool is that? And, as I always like to say, onwards and upwards. Let's keep going. Onwards and upwards. Yeah.